Hello. Have you ever been staying in a hostel and you have a hostel kitchen, but you've got no idea what to cook? What can you have that's cheap, that's easy, that's quick to make, all of the above, and something that you can either have on the go or in the hostel kitchen? Well, that's exactly the topic that I am going to be tackling today. I'm going to be giving you a bunch of ideas for meals and foods that you can make whilst you're staying in a hostel, and I have enlisted the help of my very good friend Shu. Hi. We're obviously not in a hostel kitchen today, but we're going to pretend as if we are and limit ourselves to being in the hostel. So Shu makes videos. What do I do? So Shu makes videos in food and travel, so she knows a lot about good things to make.
Yeah, but I don't really have any experience of cooking inside a hostel kitchen. But I'm very good at cooking food on the go very quickly. So
I'm going to give her the criteria that we're working under, and we'll see what ideas that collectively we can come up with. Right, yeah. So Shu.
Okay.
In a hostel kitchen,
right?
They're not always the cleanest.
Okay.
Just to put it simply. Okay. Normally you have quite minimal equipment. There are pots and pans, but you've got to be aware that lots of people are using them. Mm-hmm. The pots and pans may not be the best quality. You probably only have access to one or maximum of two. You do normally have a hob, but it's not always great. You don't have an oven most of the time. Most hostels do not have ovens. You do have a microwave.
Okay.
You do have a microwave. You may or you may not have like salt, pepper, oil. I know that's a bit weird, but like sometimes there's a free food shelf which might have these things on, but that's not guaranteed. We can't really rely on that. There is fridges, but again, it's a bit all over the place because there's not always going to be space in the fridge, and you have to risk your stuff getting stolen. You have to like label your own stuff in the fridge. So we can use it and we can use storage, but I'd say we want to try and not if we can. And as backpackers, we want meals that are cheap and affordable. We want them to be quick and easy to make, fairly nutritious, because I find that it is quite hard to stay healthy on the road. So if we can build a bit of nutrition into there, that would be great. And also something with like fairly minimal waste, just especially with how our planet is going at the moment. If we could minimize the plastic waste as much as possible. A lot of people will be solo backpackers, so we kind of want to look at doing meals for one, something which, you know, you can just make by yourself. Or you might even be traveling with a friend, or maybe you've met someone in the hostel, so we can do meals for two. Or maybe you're traveling with a group, or like your whole dorm room wants some food and you all want to go to the supermarket and feed everyone for like a good price. So we can also do like meals for four, but I think a good combo of all of those things will be fab.
Got it. So fresh produce, quick and easy to make on the go, and for 1 to 4 people.
Pretty much, yeah.
Got some ideas.
Okay.
Let's go to the supermarket.
Right, so I'm going to take you to my favourite supermarket, which is Sainsbury's. We have a few in the area, but you don't have a choice in the matter, unfortunately. I should mention at this point that if you're in somewhere like Thailand or anywhere else in Southeast Asia, or maybe in Central America, you're probably this video probably won't be useful because you just eat out because it's so cheap to eat out. So this is really only applying when you're in Western countries where you do have a hostel kitchen. So if you're in the UK or a lot of Europe, Australia, New Zealand, this is where this video is really going to apply to you. So my favourite supermarket in the UK is Sainsbury's. It's just always been my favourite, but you've also got Morrison's, you've got the Co-ops, which are just kind of everywhere. You have Tesco's, Lidl, Aldi.
Absolutely spoiled for choice.
But you'll probably just be going whichever is actually closest to your hostel at the time, whichever is a walk away. So you normally don't actually have a choice. In Australia, I'd say my favourite supermarket used to be Coles. I think it's Woolies now because you can get the takeaway sushi bar in a lot of the places.
Ooh.
Yeah, they don't have that in Coles. Yeah, and then I think Countdown is probably my favourite one, my favourite supermarket in New Zealand.
I love the name of these supermarkets.
I know, it's weird. It's funny to think that like they're so different from ours.
Yeah, is Woolies like Woolworths?
Yeah, oh yeah, Woolworths. Yeah, so you know, so we used to have Woolworths here.
Yeah.
And they have it there, but it's different. It's their actual supermarket.
Oh wow.
God, do you remember Woolworths in the UK?
So good. Had a
Pick
really
and
good
mix.
section. Oh, pick and mix, yeah.
Welcome to my happy place. This is literally the best place in the world. So we're going to start for the meals for one. So if you're by yourself and you haven't made any friends that evening and you just need to get one meal for yourself that night, what can you pick up from the supermarket that's cheap and easy? You've got these John West steam pots. These actually come in a bunch of different flavors, and it's a whole pot of rice with some kind of tuna infusion. So you've got Mexican salsa rice, rich tomato pasta, spicy red pepper couscous. They're only £1.75 at the moment, £1.75 for an entire meal, well, reduced from £2.50. But these are really good, just on the go. You pop them in the microwave and it's a really tasty meal. They've also got these lunch on the go ones, which are also £1.75.
The noodle section here is amazing. They've got so many types of noodles here, especially for meals for one. So you've got the instant ones in the pot, just put in some hot water. We've got ones where you can put it in a bowl, lots of different types of flavors, spicy, non-spicy, meat, veggie.
Pot noodles, 80p.
We've also got this intensely flavored chicken katsu curry. This is 85p. These bring me back to my uni days. These are mug shots, and all you have to do is empty it, put some hot water, stir it, and then you've basically got a meal in a mug for 80p.
We've also got good old reliable Uncle Ben's. We've got a whole chili con carne pot, meal for one, for £1.50, which isn't too bad either. And Dol Mio, you can get pasta meals on the go, but I think we can do better than that.
These are really good packets for pasta, and it's only 75p, but do be careful and look at the ingredients at the back, because some of them require you to add in water and milk, so it's an extra ingredient that you may not have. Coming in at 45p, we have some cream of chicken and mushroom soup. Empty your contents, microwave, and you're done. We've also got a cup of soup. It's £1.20 for 4 sachets, which is 30p for one, and you literally just need to add water to it and then you're done. We have two options here for porridge. So this one is the supermarket version, it's 40p. This one is the branded one, that's 75p. You literally just add hot water and then your breakfast is done and you've got a big bowl of porridge. You can also get them in lots of different flavours as well.
The thing is here, we don't really want to be buying the big packets of porridge oats or just the big packets of things, because we all know that storing things in hostels can sometimes be quite difficult, and actually travelling with it. So we're really trying to knuckle down on the things where we're not going to have to be carrying around our food for a long period of time or have to find somewhere to store it. Something that I love, and it's not the cheapest, is the ready-made sushi that you can get in a lot of supermarkets. You definitely can in Australia, and it's quite nutritious, very, very filling, but also quite light, and it's a perfect thing for on the go. I'm going to go with this one, salmon California roll. So you've got salmon, avocado, cucumber for £4.95. If you come to the supermarket in the afternoon or evening, or sometimes you even find it in the morning, you can find the reduced section, or just look out for the food that says reduced on it, because often you can get it for half the price. It basically just means it's going off that day or the next day, but as a backpacker, you're probably going to eat it that day anyway, so they're a really good thing to look out for. Obviously, we are in a supermarket environment. A lot of the stuff is plastic wrapped, but it's really good if you can go to a farmer's market and not have the stuff that's wrapped in plastic. I have a breakfast option. If you notice that on the free food shelf of your hostel there may be some bread that someone has shared out, grab yourself an avocado, and a really easy quick meal is just avocado on toast. Super tasty, super filling, it's nutritious, you've got your good fats. Especially if you get something like this in a farmer's market, it can be really cheap. Just make sure they're ripe.
But what supermarkets are good for are the meal deals. So quite often you can come in and for something like £2 or £3 you can get a sandwich or a pasta pot or salad with a drink and a snack, and then you've got everything you need in a meal for cheaper. And this one's vegan. A classic jacket potato is the perfect meal for one. All you have to do is pierce it, put it on a high heat in the microwave for 5 minutes, give it a turn, another 5 minutes, and then you're done. You can top it with butter, beans, tuna, and you can find this pretty much anywhere in the world in the farmer's market, and it's pretty cheap as well, probably like 35p. Or you can pretty much do the same with a sweet potato, and you can have some slow release carbs throughout the day as well to fuel you. Christy told me that eggs can be a little awkward because it's hard to store and it's very easy to break, and it comes in a minimum of 6. But if you do have access to storage space, then a good few exciting meals that you can make are scrambled eggs, hard boiled. You can also make banana pancakes, 2 eggs, 1 banana, mash it up, make pancakes, delicious breakfast or a dessert. You can also add it to your instant noodles as well if you want some added protein. Just make sure to check them first. For 6 eggs, it's £2.20, which comes in about 40p for an egg. Pretty good. A really good idea for meal for 2 is simply just to get some mushroom stir fries, which comes in at £1.25, and some noodles, Singapore rice noodles, £1.25, £2.50 for the whole meal, feeds 2 people. So each portion is £1.25, and it also means that you don't have to individually go out and get all of the ingredients. So if you want something quick, easy, convenient, done.
While we're kind of in the Indian section, a really quick meal, probably for 4 people, which is also really good, is just to grab yourself some coconut cream for £1.45, some curry paste for £1.20, and just a packet of rice, and you've got a really quick, easy, cheap Indian curry. Okay, we are back in the kitchen. So what we're going to show you now is a few more meal ideas, but for more people, and how to cook them in your hostel kitchen.
Yeah, we're going to start off with meals for 2. So there are 3 options. You can either make this with a friend you just met in the dorm room, you can make it with a friend you're traveling with, or you can make 2 portions and then put it in a Tupperware box and save it for the next day.
Yeah, it's actually quite common to travel with Tupperware. I've seen quite a few backpackers do it.
Really?
So if you have space to actually travel with a Tupperware box so that you can make yourself dinner, but also can be lunch for the next day. So the first meal that we are going to make is prawn pasta. And for this you will need a packet of king prawns, £1.75, 1 carton of coconut cream for £1.45, a small tin of sweet corn for 25p, some pasta. My favourite is linguine. This is 55p for half a kilogram, but you're only going to need half of this packet for 2 people, and that creates loads. But the good thing about spaghetti or pasta of this shape is that it fits really well just into your backpack if you need to take it to future places.
This is a really, really easy recipe because you can just cook it all in one pan, which also means that there's very minimal washing up. But usually with pasta, it comes in a half a kilo packet like this. But if it's for 2 people, you can just split it down the half.
Because then you don't need to use weighing scales, which we all know it's rare to find the weighing scales in a hostel. That's not...
Wait, let me get my scales from my backpack.
First, you're just going to boil up the pasta in one pan. We're just straining the sweet corn just by keeping the finger over the top of the can. Do it like that, give it a good shake. Now, I'm not going to turn the heat off. You can turn it off at this point, but ultimately we just want to turn it down. This step is going to be a lot easier if you can find a colander in your hostel kitchen. If not, it'll just be a case of like just slowly draining it like this. But since we've got the colander, we're going to use it. Give that a little swish, but not too much. You still want it to have a little bit of moisture, and so then we're going to bung it straight back in the pan. Now we're going to move back over to the hob. This is when we're going to start to make our sauce. So make sure you shake up the coconut cream first, and then we are going to pour it in. This is just literally going to act as our sauce. I'm going to pour it in and stir to the point where I feel comfortable with the amount in there, because obviously you don't want there to be too much. See, that's quite nice. Right, we're going to leave it with that for now, and you're going to put it back on the hob, but like on a kind of low to medium heat, and just we're warming up that coconut cream. Then we're literally just going to bung in all of the prawns. Bung them all in and stir that. Then we're just going to bung in a bunch of the sweet corn. Well, can we do it all? We could do it all. It might be excessive sweet corn, but I don't want any waste, so I'm just putting in all of this sweet corn.
Hope you like sweet corn.
I hope you like sweet corn. Just keep stirring it, basically. We just want the whole thing to heat up nicely together. If you feel like it's getting a bit dry, just add more coconut cream. So if you can find some salt and pepper on your free food shelf, then definitely bang them in, because it's going to make this taste a whole lot better. And also, and I'm going to say this pretty much with every single dish that we make today, if you find anything else on the free food shelf which you think would be good in here just to chuck in, then absolutely go ahead. It's just about putting everything that you can together, really. So what we do have as leftover, and I'm going to imagine that this is on the free food shelf, is just some cherry tomatoes, and that tastes really, really good in this dish. That is ready to serve. I love pasta. And what I like about this one is that because the coconut cream and the sweet corn in there, and even the tomatoes that we've got in here as well, is quite sweet, You don't feel the need to add cheese, which you often do with tomato-based dishes. I really like that. I used to put double cream in all of my pasta dishes, which is lovely as it is, that is not healthy for you. You're going to significantly pile on the pounds a lot more, whereas coconut cream is a lot lighter, it's a lot healthier, but you still get that same creaminess.
This is like such a new flavour combination for me. Both coconut cream and sweet corn in pasta. Like I normally would just only have it with tuna. Some tomato in there. Bon appetit.
Do you like it?
It's actually pretty good. It's it's a great one for summer months, I think.
Right.
Really, really good for like summery.
Yeah, it's like a light pasta.
Lighter pasta that won't leave you feeling heavy afterwards.
No, definitely not.
But I definitely like it with the cherry tomatoes that Christiane found from the free food shelf. I actually really like this. I've never thought of combining coconut cream with pasta. Lovely.
Good, winner.
Absolutely lovely. Next up, we have salmon with mixed vegetables, and this is what you need.
2 salmon fillets, £2.75. 1 broccoli, which is 65p per kilo, so probably about 20p. 1 courgette, which is £2 per kilo, so probably around 60 or 70p. Spinach, this big packet is £1.20, but this is probably something that's really good to get in a farmer's market where you can get loose spinach, so you're not using the plastic packaging, and it's probably much cheaper as well.
Okay, so the great thing about this is that you can actually already buy it steamed and cooked, so it's ready to eat, and it saves you a lot of cooking in the hostel environment, because I'm not sure you've got steamers, you might not have a lot of things to prepare salmon, so this is great because it's already done for you, and we're literally just going to cook it all together. So I might boil off some broccoli, and then we can like pan fry some courgettes, add in spinach, and then put in your salmon.
You probably do need oil for this one, don't you?
Yeah.
So just check on your free food shelf that there is some oil there. I think that any good hostel would have oil on the free food shelf. It tends to just be like a staple that they do have, but it's not guaranteed, so just check that you do.
But this is a great option if you want something a little bit lighter, if you don't want something like pizza or pasta or
much healthier,
rice.
if you feel like you need a detox, or if you feel like you just put on a bit of weight while you're backpacking and you're just like, I just want something healthier, get some real nutrients in me. I actually often have this for dinner at home.
And it's healthy, quick, nutritious, and it's good for the soul. I'm just washing my veggies. So after washing your vegetables, I'm just going to cut them up in relatively thin slices. So when you're putting it on the pan, it'll cook a little bit faster. If you don't have a big pan, you can always turn it into little chunks, quarter it like this, which then means it's easier also to add into things like spag bowl and stuff, as it won't take up as much room. Okay, I'm just gonna put some broccoli to the boil till it softens. If your hostel does have a steamer, then make full use of it, because it is a lot more nutritious when you steam your veggies as opposed to boiling it, because it loses quite a lot. But we're going to assume for this instance that you don't have a steamer. While the broccoli is boiling, I'm going to fry off some courgettes, because that will take a few minutes. Generous plug.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Olive oil is good for the heart. Just gonna literally just put it in. It won't take that long actually. And then afterwards I'm going to add in the spinach as well, and because the courgettes will naturally have some water in them, that's going to be enough just to wilt in the spinach. And then we can add in the broccoli just to firm it up a bit, and then add in the salmon, and then we're done. Simple as that. Easy, quick, healthy.
So the final 2 meals that we're going to make are going to be meals for 4. So if you've made some friends in your dorm room, or if you're just traveling with a group of people traveling with some friends and you want to split the cost and make a really nice big meal that you can all share, and it'll be cheap and it'll be super, super tasty. So the first one we're going to do is my very famous, not that famous, veggie chili con carne. And for this you will need 1 carton of chopped tomatoes, 45p, a can of chickpeas for 55p, a carton of red kidney beans for 70p, and some chili con carne seasoning for 50p.
With rice, I would go for an option that's kind of like a boil in the bag and splurge a little bit, because carrying this around it's going to be hectic. Like, I don't know about you, I'm pretty clumsy and I feel like this would go everywhere. But here you've got 8 in one box and you can just put it in your backpack, boil in a bag, and then you're done. It's $2.55 for 8, so that's like just over 30p, 35p, 40p for one.
And this one is a vegan dish as well, so if you are a vegan, this one's good for you. This is literally the easiest thing to put together because it's just all going in the same pan and we're using all of what we've bought. In goes the tomatoes. I've already drained the chickpeas and the kidney beans and they're just gonna head on in. So once they're all in, you're just gonna give them a stir and that's just gonna be simmering for the duration that your rice is cooking. If you're boiling your rice or if you're just microwaving your rice, then that's not gonna take quite so long. But basically you want to be simmering for 10 to 15 minutes. The chili con carne seasoning has to be mixed with 150 milliliters of water, which is about this much, just like, you know, an average drinking cup's worth. If you don't have anything to measure it with, that is. Yeah, just give that a stir. Yeah, when you feel comfortable with how much you've stirred it, I don't really know the point at which it's done, but when you feel like it's ready, then you can just pour it into your mix. And we're gonna put that on a medium heat because that's really watery at the moment. So you're basically just gonna simmer, boil it off until it's a consistency which you're happy with. At the moment, this is obviously, I've only just started, it's way too watery, so we're just gonna boil off some of that water. It's been on for about 15 minutes and it's looking really good now. It's thickened up quite a lot. I'm still gonna give it a little bit longer. Smells amazing.
It really does.
And there we have it. Give it a go.
This smells so good. Very excited for Christian's famous vegan chili.
It might be quite hot. Is it nice? It's nice. If you wanted to un-veganify it, you could add some cheddar cheese. I am guilty of adding that sometimes when I don't want to be vegan. And you can serve so many actually, like we have loads of this vegan chili right here.
And it's a little bit of spice, but it's not too spicy either. So if you
don't worry, it's not too spicy. Like I can't handle spice, and like I can feel the kick, but like it's fine.
So the final dish we're going to make is spaghetti bolognese, but this time we're going to use it with turkey mince. This is what you'll need.
Turkey breast mince, £3. This is much better for you than beef and much better for the environment as well. So that's why we're going with this today.
A packet of sliced mushrooms, £1.
2 cartons of chopped tomatoes, 90p. Some pasta. My favourite is linguine. This is 55p. Now cheese is a bit of a luxury because it is expensive, but if you're like me, you kind of really want cheese. So I think this block is probably a really good amount for 4 people, which is £2. So for an extra 50p per person, I personally think it's worth it, but it's an option.
Right, so I've heated up the pan and now I'm gonna add in all of the turkey mince. We're gonna set this one aside after it's all cooked, and then we're gonna then cook the mushrooms. Now it's gonna pour in 2 cartons of the chopped tomatoes, and this is great because it already has basil and oregano inside, so you don't really need any additional seasoning. I'm gonna let that cook for a few minutes, and it's time to add in the mince and then stir it all together. Probably have done with like 3 cartons to be fair.
Okay, taste test. I would definitely add some salt and pepper if you have access to it on the free food shelf, but it is still tasty. I think what we also could have done is added an extra tomato, so make that 3 tomato sauces, because I think it's more on the meaty side. But other than that, solid meal, loads of protein in there, tasty, gonna fill you up, feed the whole family. Nice, I like it. I'm so full now. I'm eating all day. I'm going out for dinner tonight. How am I gonna do that? Stop. And that is it. I hope you've enjoyed this video. We've had a very busy day of cooking, but it's been a lot of fun. The good thing about backpacker meals is like you literally can just throw anything in, anything that you see on the food shelf. Just be creative and just chuck it all in. And any of the things that we've shown you today, feel free and don't be afraid to swap things in and out, chuck things in, see what's on offer in the supermarket.
And I would say like one thing that I would do a bit differently is that personally I love to season my food, and I wouldn't really cook without seasoning food, which I understand that may not be provided at every hostel kitchen. But I personally would travel with salt and pepper, chili flakes, chili sauce, garlic.
I wouldn't, but there are definitely people who do.
Yeah, because it doesn't take up much room. You can put in a little pouch.
Which seasonings would you bring? What would be like if you could have like 3?
Salt, pepper, chili flakes, or salt, pepper, and garlic. Because I feel like it's something so simple. It won't even weigh anything, but it'll completely change your meal. Otherwise, I'm really surprised.
I'm gonna get some wine.
Oh yeah, time for the wine.
What do you want? Rosé, prosecco, a cider?
Rosé or prosecco, I think. I literally feel like I'm in your model kitchen, and today I feel like I'd be like, and then our next chef, we have celebrity chef Christiane Risman, who has been preparing 4 easy backpacker-friendly meals for us in the kitchen today.
You never see that on TV, do you? I hope you've enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more videos on backpacking, hostels and round the world stuff. And please subscribe to Shu, who makes amazing food and travel videos. Very, very talented, in particular all of the dim sums.
Oh yeah, I do like me some dim sum and the dumplings.
And you've introduced me to a lot of it as well, which I never even thought I could eat.
Yeah.
And she makes like even the most basic food look like it's M&S basic food.
I do like a sexy food montage.
Sexy, like,
that is
slow-mo
correct.
food montage.
Well, cheers.
Cheers
to that.
If you have any other like backpacker meal ideas to make in the hostel kitchen, do leave it in the comments, and we can just create this whole community of people sharing cooking and hostel tips.
Yeah, perfect. I can't believe how quick and easy everything was to make today.
Yeah, it was so easy.
And very, very tasty.
Very, very tasty. Well done us.
Well done us. Cheers to that.
Cheers to that. We're about to go film a video that's going to be over on Shu's channel about filming videos, actually.
Yeah.
Specifically travel videos, how to plan, film, edit them, and some really, really good tips. So that's going to be over on her channel. So maybe watch that next. And I'll see you next time.
Yeah. Bye.